How's everyone feeling today? Ready to tear this place down? Put your fists up if you're ready for some real noise.
In the heart of Kyoto town, where the cherry blossoms bloom, there's a revolution stirring in every ancient room. From the temples to the streets, the energy's alive. It's the birth of Kimonopunk, where traditions cause and thrive. Sakura in the air, rebellion everywhere. Kimonopunk is rising, breaking through the glare. From silk and ancient patterns to leather and punk rock, it's the dawn of a new era, breaking the traditions live. Oh no no, oh no no.
Nikos Niko Dimitriou, while relatively young in the coaching world, has already carved out a reputation as a tactically brilliant basketball coach in Greece. Known for his highly energetic approach and strategic finesse, Niko excels as a player's coach, deeply committed to nurturing young talent. His coaching philosophy centers on developing players' self-belief and courage, emphasizing that mistakes are not setbacks, but the best teachers. During the off-season, Niko swaps the hardwood courts for the open seas, steering his sailboat across the Mediterranean. Here he extends his coaching beyond basketball, offering urban, underprivileged youths a chance to experience the serenity of sailing. This unique opportunity allows them to learn new skills, embrace teamwork, and see beyond their immediate environment, all under Niko's guiding hand. His dual role as a coach and mentor highlights his adaptability and passion for empowering the next generation, both on the court and in life. Yet it's in the solitude of his own company, in the quiet after the storm of applause and the calm of the sea, that Niko finds a sanctuary. These moments of introspection have grown more poignant since his son ventured off to Marseille, leaving Niko to find companionship in the digital embrace of video calls. The silence that follows these conversations is soon filled with the raw energy of punk rock, a stark contrast to the day's earlier serenity. His fingers, adept at drawing up game-winning plays, now dance along the bass guitar's strings, echoing the complexities of his soul through the amplifier. His attire, a self-made punk kimono, is as defiant as his music. It's a vivid tapestry of his life's contrasting aspects, each thread a story, each color a chapter of his journey from the courts to the sea, and now to the rugged edges of punk rock. In this private world, Niko explores the depths of his emotions, channeling his thoughts and feelings into the rhythmic strumming and plucking. Each note he plays is a reflection of his inner landscape, from melancholic lows to defiant highs. This musical outlet provides him with a necessary balance, allowing him to express what words sometimes cannot capture. It's here, in this blend of silence and sound, that Niko reconciles the coach's public persona with the private individual, crafting a symphony of solitude that keeps him grounded amidst life's constant flux.
In the heart of Greece with a whistle and play, Niko shaping minds in his own unique way. From the courts to the seas with a plan so grand, teaching kids to stand tall and together they'll stand. Mistakes ain't failures and lessons he'd say. Fall 7 times, stand up, ain't that's the way. Hey, Niko, steer us through the storm of hardwood floors or where the sea waves form. Building dreams with a ball or sail. With courage and teamwork we will never fail. Hey, Niko, in your boat or on the court, you teach us more than just the sport.
In the Greek basketball world, a tempest brews just beneath the calm surface, the stench of corruption permeating every corner of the court. Behind the sweat and cheers, a nefarious web weaves tightly through the ranks, an omnipotent basketball association, shadowy communications, and agents whose influence runs so deep they handpick national team players with impunity. This glaring injustice leaves a trail of casualties, coaches whose salaries vanish like smoke, careers cut short, without a whisper of explanation, a community fractured by silent grievances and unspoken fears. Amidst this brewing storm stands Nikos Dimitriou, a beacon of integrity in a sea of deceit. Though untouched personally by the murky dealings, Nikos' heart beats in sync with the downtrodden, his empathy for his colleagues a palpable force that refuses to be quieted. He senses the unspoken plea for leadership, for a voice brave enough to shatter the silence that cloaks the corruption. Driven by a fierce moral compass, Nikos feels compelled to act, to speak up against the injustices corroding the foundations of the sport he loves, even at the risk of personal fallout, which he naively assumes will be minor. However, fate had a cruel twist in store. One fateful night, fueled by ouzo and a fiery resolve, Nikos' frustrations boil over. His fingers, usually reserved for strategizing plays or strumming his bass guitar, now race across his phone's screen, unleashing a torrent of pent-up truths into the digital ether. With the press of send, his scathing words, directly naming the kingpins of corruption, are cast into the public arena, igniting a firestorm that rages far beyond his intentions. In the stillness of the night, with the last echoes of his outraged posts fading into the darkness, Nikos leans back, the glow of his phone casting shadows across his face. He mutters to himself, a mixture of anger and despair in his voice.
All these years, bending over backwards, keeping my head down, playing their games. And for what? For these greedy wankers to keep taking everything from the sport.
His voice rises with each word, the frustration boiling up from deep within.
No more hiding, no more silence. They think they own the game. They think they can silence anyone who doesn't fall in line.
His breathing heavy, Nikos stands up, pacing back and forth as he continues.
I've seen too much, kept quiet too long. It's not just about basketball anymore. It's about every young player whose dreams are crushed under their greed. It's about every honest coach sidelined for speaking up. It's about saving the game.
Pausing, he looks out into the darkness, his figure a silhouette against the faint city lights.
Maybe this was a mistake, maybe it wasn't. But it's out there now. Let them come, I'm ready. I do much to lose, but maybe, just maybe, everything to gain.
In this moment, alone with his thoughts, Nikos' resolve hardens, the ouzo-fueled recklessness giving way to a sober determination to fight the battle he has accidentally started. His heart pounds, not just with fear of the consequences, but with the adrenaline of finally facing his adversaries head-on.
Whisper truth in the dead of night. I've held my tongue too tight. Years of playing by their rules, blended into their cruel sight. But now the fury's built too high, like a tempest in the sky. Done with shadows, done with lies. It's time to testify. I'm Nikos, ain't sailing against the storm. No bull I conform, calling out the powers that be breaking every norm. It's about the kids, the coaches, the game we adore. I'm standing tall, my voice won't be silent anymore.
The backlash is swift and ruthless. The basketball world, his world, or at least the people in charge, react so fiercely that it catches Nikos off guard. By morning, the bridges back to the courts aren't just burned, they're obliterated, stripped of his roles, and shunned by those he once called peers. Nikos finds himself cast out from the sport that has defined much of his life. His first love, basketball, becomes a ghost of what it once was, its absence leaving a gaping void filled with the echoes of betrayal and a profound sense of loss. Caught in the aftermath of his defiant stand, Nikos confronts the reality that his supposed minor consequences are in fact a life-altering upheaval. As he grapples with his new reality, Niko must navigate a path through the wreckage of his former life, seeking solace in his music and the open sea, questioning what it means to be a hero in a world that punishes truth and valor. The cost of his integrity turns out to be higher than he ever imagined, challenging him to redefine his identity both on and off the court. On the shores of a secluded Greek beach, under a canopy of stars, Niko Dimitriou stands alone, a solitary figure against the vast, dark canvas of the night. The moon, full and luminous, bathes the scene in a ghostly glow, casting his shadow long and mysterious across the sand. The gentle caress of the night breeze flutters the edges of his kimono, a tapestry of rebellion stitched into fabric, fluttering like a flag of defiance against the backdrop of the serene Aegean Sea. As he plays, Niko's mind wanders through the tumult of recent events, the sharp sting of betrayal, the bitter pill of exclusion. He pauses, his gaze drifting towards the horizon, where the dark sea meets the darker sky, and he speaks into the night, his voice barely above a whisper, yet carried powerfully by the breeze.
They thought they could silence me, break me. But here I am. My voice louder in the quiet, my spirit stronger in the solitude. You see, the thing about hitting rock bottom, it's a solid foundation to rebuild.
His fingers resume their dance across the bass strings, each movement more confident than the last.
They stripped me of everything I thought defined me.
He continues, the melody growing bolder with his resolve.
But in this void, I found a purity of purpose, a clarity that the crowded courts and corrupt dealings never allowed. Here, with nothing but the sea and the stars as my witnesses, I find myself reborn. Not as the basketball coach. They wanted me to be constrained by their rules and their games, but as the man and the punk rocker I was always meant to become.
The music swells, a crescendo that mirrors the waves crashing against the shore.
This is not the end of my story.
Niko declares to the night, his silhouette a stark outline against the moonlit sea.
It's a new chapter, one where I write the rules, where I define what it means to be victorious. They may have taken my position, but they can't take my passion, my truth, or my music. These are mine, forged in the depths of despair and now unbreakable.
As the final note lingers in the air, mingling with the salty breeze, Niko feels a sense of peace settle over him. The stars seem to nod in approval, the sea to applaud his defiance. With his music as his rebellion, his solitude as his strength, Niko is no longer just surviving the storm. He is mastering it, turning his trials into triumphs, his scars into stories worth singing about. In the quiet of the night, on that remote beach, Niko finds not an ending but a profound beginning. As dawn breaks over the horizon, painting the sky with hues of orange and pink, Niko is greeted by an unexpected visitor, a delicately crafted envelope resting at his doorstep. Its surface is adorned with elegant Japanese-style typography that reads, Kimonopunk's Rising. With a mixture of curiosity and reverence, Niko traces the characters with his fingertips before carefully opening the letter. Inside, the words leap out at him, resonating deep within his core.
We hear you. We see you. We want you here. Here is to a new beginning.
As he unfolds the letter further, a vivid collage spills out, capturing the vibrant essence of Kimonopunk's Rising. Images of bustling streets in Kyoto, eclectic music venues thronged with passionate crowds, and an array of punky kimonos worn by people of all walks of life, each piece a testament to the community and sense of belonging that Kimonopunk embodies. Niko's eyes widen as he turns to the last page, where the invitation becomes even more personal.
We not only want you here, we want you in the very first Kimonopunk Rising Song Contest. We can't wait to hear and see you perform here.
The words resonate with him, igniting a blaze of emotions that rush through him like a tidal wave. Standing there, with the letter in his hand, Nico feels a surge of exhilaration, a rush of raw, positive energy that floods every fiber of his being. He looks out at the sea, feeling its vast rhythmic power echoing his own newfound vitality.
This is the sign I've been waiting for.
He murmurs to himself, his voice thick with emotion.
A chance not just to start over, but to redefine who I am. To share my voice on a stage that values authenticity, rebellion, and creativity.
His heart races with anticipation, the possibilities unfurling before him like the vast expanse of the ocean. Nico reflects aloud, his gaze fixed on the horizon.
From the depths of despair to the heights of possibility, Kimonopunk's rising isn't just a contest. It's a signal for those of us cast adrift, a haven for the rebels and the creators, the misunderstood and the bold.
With a renewed sense of purpose, Nico packs his bass guitar, the strings now symbols of his journey ahead. The promise of performing in Kyoto, of being part of something revolutionary, fuels his creativity like never before. Each chord he imagines playing at the contest is a step towards a new life. A life where his music, his truths, are not just heard but celebrated. As the sun climbs higher in the sky, Nico feels as though the giant wave that washed over him has not only cleansed the old wounds, but has filled him with everything he needs to face this new chapter.
Kyoto awaits and I'm ready.
He declares, his voice a mix of defiance and joy, ready to ride the wave of Kimonopunk's rising. A playful grin crosses his face as he ponders his journey, the excitement of the unknown pulsing through him.
The only question is, should I sail or should I go?
From the court to Greece under the azure sky, I taught them to leap, I taught them to fly. But when the whistle blows and the game is done, I find my truth in the strings, in the setting sun. Coached by day, hear the bass proclaim. From Greece to Kyoto, we ignite the flame. Every block, in unity we stand, breaking the silence, hand in hand. One night, too many shots, a social tirade. Lost my post, my place, in the bed I had made. Anger, resentment, they fueled my art. In the depth of the bass, I pour out my heart. But in this upheaval, I found my true sound. The clash of the strings, my soul unbound. To turn the page, to break the cage. Kimonopunk's rising, hear the bass proclaim. From Greece to Kyoto, we ignite the flame. Every pluck, in unity we stand, breaking the silence, hand in hand.
We are the Story Brothers, and we thank you so much for listening. We very much appreciate you. Our journey is all about exploring what we can do with storytelling and AI. With an abundance of stories, ideas, and topics to explore, the big question is, how far can we take them with generative AI by our side? Please share if you like what you hear. Stay tuned for more excitement and adventure coming your way very soon. Cheers!